put a spell on you. Because you're mine.
3 bounties. 3 fucking bounties. I swear, if the NCR doesn't send a truckload of soldiers to arrest Benny for me, then I might just start practicing my marksmanship on anyone wearing brown armor. Killing fiends offers its own rewards, I won't deny that. But there's a limit to how much fun I can have in one day before it gets tiresome. You know what I mean?
Still working on that last bounty?
Christ! Why don't you take a look at all the bloodstains I'm wearing and work it out for yourself for once? Your first recon is a joke, by the way, but I think deep down you already know that. You can bullshit anyone you want, but the moment you start doing that to yourself, things can only go downhill. Here, go add this head to your collection, you sick fuck.
Well, well, well. Driving the Phi. Nothing to say, you son of a bitch. No tips on my golf swing. Lost a lot of good men to this psychopath. Morale's gonna be better now that he's gone. Here's the bounty I promised. I guess we can send first recon down to Camp Forlorn Hope. They need all the help they can get there. You've been one hell of a stroke of good luck, you know that? Those 3 scumbags probably killed 20 NCR troopers. And you bring them down alone. Wish I had a few grunts as good as you. Damn good working with you.
Damn good for you, maybe. I'm just glad this shit is over. Oh, I hope those poor fuckers at Forlorn Hope are ready to receive the worst reinforcements they can possibly get. At least replace their lieutenant or something, Jesus. No offense, Boom, but I'm going to assume there are multiple groups of First Recon, and you simply came from one of the less retarded ones. I mean, at least you've been kind of helpful lately.
Yeah, I guess maybe I am. I think our dealings are done here.
Oh, is it now? I thought you would have wanted me to stay and help out more, considering this was your great plan. Well, after everything I've done, I think I deserve to have a word with the person in charge. I need to look at the guy in the eye and say, you owe me, bitch. Wow. That's, fucking playing up
There's
there.
a lot more troops here than we thought. No wonder we couldn't hold Helios 1.
You what now?
What the hell was that?
Nothing? Nothing. It was nothing. Slip of the tongue. Her family used to live near Helios 1 and they got evicted. Yeah, something else the NCR is responsible for. Fucking hell, Veronica, I'm gonna kill you for this. But yeah, this is a hell of a place you guys have here. You've got slot machines to pass the time and a bloody fighter jet in the main terminal. Nothing says airport in Vegas quite like this, right? Although I would take that plane down if I were you guys. I don't know what the tensile strength of steel cables are after 200 years, but I highly doubt they can hold up something that big for long. Getting squashed by a pre-war flying machine would certainly make the paperwork look rather awkward. Why is it so dark in here? Let's have the Pip-Boy light on. Oh yeah, that's better. Knock knock! I hope this is the right guy, and I hope he doesn't throw me out for barging in. Hi.
We're all impressed with the work you've done for us.
Really?
Thought you might be able to make use of this.
Oh!
It's a key to a little hideaway south of here. We've used it as a place for rangers to rest and resupply. I thought you might get good use out of it.
Well, that was unexpected. I'm so jaded now, I assumed you wouldn't know who the hell I am. Maybe I should give those officers more credit. Either that or word spreads quick around here. So, are you Colonel Shu? Gorbets told me about you on the way back. I was hoping you can clarify a few issues. How's the NCR doing around here, apart from getting ripped apart by the Legion, I mean?
Could be better, I'll say that much. We set up here with our sights set on annexing New Vegas. It's a lot of resources that could do a lot of good for us. But that hasn't happened. If anything, they annexed us. They rake in the profits from our soldiers and we're stuck protecting them from the Legion. Not exactly the plan.
Oh yeah, sounds like you got conned to oblivion there. You're trying to outsmart a nation of card sharks at shady casinos. Did you honestly expect them to play fair? So now what? You guys are just gonna take it up the backside? I hope you've got lubricant.
Now we're trying to secure the strip and the dam at the same time, and it's costing us. And in the meantime, General Oliver won't approve any offensive maneuvers, because he doesn't want to risk losing our positions. So we're in a holding pattern here. And Caesar's on the other side of the river, planning.
Oh, don't worry. Wait a bit longer and he won't be simply planning anymore. You guys literally dug a hole in the sand and jumped straight in, you know that? This is what happens when you try to stretch beyond your capacity. Now I know why you guys are fucking up around here so much.
Everything was going according to President Kimball's plan at first. We met minor resistance from local troublemakers. But our 2 main objectives are still contested. Mr. House controls the strip and he won't so much as meet with our ambassador. And we're holding Hoover Dam. But Caesar's Legion is positioning itself to overrun it. If it falls, so will New Vegas. We'd be forced to withdraw.
And all this time, you're getting fuck all out of the situation. This Oliver guy must be used to this kind of ass raping. So, if you guys fortified the dam, why do you still need this place? Especially when you're getting harassed by the fiends.
It's our main base. We took it because it lets us keep an eye on the Strip. And it had already been fortified before the Great War. From here, we handle most of the logistics for our operations in Nevada. Troop allocation, supply distribution, intel. Usually General Oliver runs the show here. But he's on his way to the dam now, so I've taken on a lot of his duties here.
Just as well. I'm not sure a meeting with that guy would be as civilized as this. Well, now that I've killed those fiends, the pressure should be off slightly around here at least. I can't speak for the rest of the territory, but I assume everything is fine, correct? And while you're answering that, do you want me to go and kid someone else?
Unfortunately, no. In fact, the word from the ranger stations has been especially concerning lately. It sounds like they've run into overwhelming resistance, and supplies just aren't reaching them. It's been so bad, I asked Sergeant Reyes at Camp Forlorn Hope to look into it, and see how it is that things could be so fouled up there.
Oh, so that's what that radio operator woman was talking about. Well, if it's any consolation, I'm helping her out with that. I should probably get back to it at some point, but hey, some of those stations are fucking miles away in the middle of nowhere. I'm not going out that far just for that. By the way, you have one hell of a poker face. Everything is going to shit and you look perfectly calm.
Calm is what you have to be when people look to you. And it's all you can be when things are out of your hands.
In that case, you need to do something to put them in your hands and sort them out. But don't worry, because I could do just that. For a reasonable fee and a few favors, of course.
There are a lot of things I can't spare troops for right now. If you can help us, we can definitely pay you for your work. You don't cook by any chance, do you? Farber's doing his best, but it's hard to manage an army with half my staff in line for the latrine. Honestly, we're fighting a lot of fires right now. The fiends keep pressing their position from Vault 3. We've got the Legion breathing down our necks across the river. We actually took an officer alive last week, but so far he hasn't spoken a word.
Whoa, let's slow down here for a minute. One shitstorm at a time, okay? So those fiends really do come from Vault 3? Shit. I was hoping otherwise, but my jaded side is laughing at me again.
Every day they attack our positions and my men repel them. But every day there's more of them and less of us. I sent one of my rangers after their leader to try and destabilize them. He didn't return. Hell of a thing, losing a ranger. You come to depend on them, and they come through for you so often, you forget it can happen.
And now we come to Difficult Decision 101. I know I'll probably get well paid for storming that place and rescuing the guy, but I'm just not comfortable with going into a vault right now. Suffice to say, tight underground corridors don't sound appealing to me, but I guess I'll think it over.
That vault is a hornet's nest. If you have second thoughts, no one would think less of you for it. But if you can get him home, it'd mean a lot. Watch for civilians, too. The fiends have been kidnapping locals. They just walk right into people's homes in the middle of the day and take them. But the man you're looking for is Bryce Anders. Anders was trying to find the leader, Motor Runner. You hear something like a chainsaw? You've found Motor Runner. Put a bullet in his head, and you'll have some new friends around here.
Well, that's gonna cost you double if you want the leader dead as well. But let's take care of the problems here first. You were saying about a Legion captive? I haven't dealt with those guys in a while, so this should be refreshing. Plus, I think Boone is starting to have that itch again.
I have Lieutenant Boyd on that already, and she's excellent. But I think she's hit a wall. Talk to her if you like. See if she has any use for you. Her office is right above mine, but I think she might be interrogating right now. So she'd be upstairs on the other side of the building.
Well, I'll be honest with you, I've never actually interrogated a legionary before. Most of my interactions with those guys have so far been mediated by Ambassador Bullet and Assistant TNT. But this should be fun, right? So, any other problems you want to pay me to sort out?
Yeah. On top of everything else, I can't send a patrol on a bathroom break without it being ambushed by someone who heard they were coming. So somebody's getting the word out.
Oh, intelligence leak. Am I going to have to learn how to be a spy or something today? I'm sure the experience I'm about to get from interrogation will come in handy, assuming I get to drill out the most kneecaps. Yeah, I'm game.
Well, why not? Given your recent arrival, at least I can safely rule you out as the leak. I'd like to have absolute trust in my men, but that's just not practical right now. Go ahead and look into it. See what you find. We don't have much to go on right now. Lately, every raiding party in New Vegas seems to have a map of our troop movements. It derails everything. Supplies, reinforcements. And it'll only get worse the longer we let it go on. Captain Curtis is heading up the investigation right now. He can fill you in.
Is that so? Well, for your information, I'm going to go full retard on this investigation, so everybody is now a suspect. That includes both Curtis and yourself. If you want to confess to anything, now will be the time. Otherwise, I'm gonna go and grab my drill.
Bye.
So, I take it you have nothing to declare? Very well, but I'm watching you, Colonel. For all I know, this key you gave me leads straight into a Legion ambush. And so, just like that, I can now add detective to my growing list of careers. This is one of those few occasions where I'm glad to be paranoid, and if I want to solve this mystery, I'm gonna have to put myself into the double agent's shoes. In other words, if I wanted to leak information, how would I do it? I guess I might as well start with that Curtis guy. I'm pretty sure investigations are supposed to start with leads and then end with the bad guy's arrest. And who knows, maybe they'll assign a sassy female operative to aid me in my mission. That would complete the picture, right? If only I could be so lucky. Then I wouldn't be in this situation in the first place. Well, hello there.
What is it?
I'm Detective Courier, these are my posse and my non-existent badge.
Nice to meet you. I'm Curtis.
Ah, just the man I wanted to see. This whole walking around opening random doors thing is working out a lot better than I expected. So, what do you do here, Curtis? Anything that might involve, I don't know, information?
Officially, I'm in charge of Bravo Company. But since General Oliver has Bravo and most of our forces here garrisoned, I'm free to do other things. So I work with Colonel Shu on logistics, patrols, supply lines, reinforcements, that sort of thing. Lately, it's been less about that, and more about figuring out how that information is getting leaked to raiders. It's a big base with a lot of unhappy soldiers. They get stir-crazy. Hard to separate the malcontents from the actual culprit.
Oh, I have a solution to that. Every time you notice information getting leaked, you punish every soldier in the base. Sooner or later, someone's gonna crack and either give himself up or tell you who's acting suspicious. But I'm guessing Colonel Shu's got problems against that kind of thing, so he's hired me to do things the old-fashioned way.
Smart man. I could use somebody who can operate under the radar around here. Whoever our mole is, he's been slippery. Whenever one of the MPs gets too close, he changes his habits. Our last lead went cold weeks ago.
Well, that's not what I wanted to hear. What good is a lead unless it's piping hot? So now what? Do we try my method, or have you got other ideas on where to start? You've got to give me something to work with here.
You want my advice? Start by talking to people with a lot of eyes in the field. People like Lieutenant Boyd, or Sergeant Contreras, maybe. Careful with Contreras, though. He's not above suspicion himself. Keep me apprised of any leads you get. This guy's gotten a lot of my men killed. I'm just itching to return the favor.
Oh, trust me, as far as I'm concerned, no one is above suspicion right now. I'll come back later with either more information or an arrest warrant. Pretty sure you'll be able to tell which is which.
Later.
So, we now have a list of people to interrogate. One of whom is doing some interrogating herself. I always used to wonder what would happen if you tortured the torturer using the same techniques he or she normally uses. Would they be more resistant to it? I'm not sure how you can be more resistant to someone pulling your fingernails out and dripping acid into the wounds, but I've heard of stranger things. By contrast, I'm sure interrogating the interrogator using the same techniques would be much more difficult. They're the ones who came up with it, so chances are they will know how to get around it. Now the trick would be to suddenly switch tactics. So one moment you could be trying to probe their head, and then BAM! You pull out a hammer and start literally probing their head. It would catch them off guard, that's for sure. So the question is, should I practice on that Legion prisoner first? I don't know who's more valuable in this case. Hey, look sharp, trooper.
Boyd's in there with the prisoner right now. Boy, is she pissed.
Yeah, I think she'll be even more pissed if I start waving accusations around. I think I'll go slowly on this one for now. Hey, you got a minute there, Lieutenant, or do you need a moment to yourself?
You stick out like a sore thumb around here. You sure you're in the right place?
Oh, you're gonna give me crap just because I don't have a uniform? That's just typical military bullshit. Besides, I'm a detective now. I don't wear uniforms. I'm gonna start asking you a few questions, and I do suggest you cooperate. I've authorized myself to use lethal force if necessary. So let's start with your occupation. What do you do around here?
Colonel Shu has me handling the policing duties for the base. I've told him he could make my job a whole lot easier if he would just let me shoot anyone who talks back to me. But you know how colonels can be.
Well, unfortunately, I'm going to be doing a lot of that, so for the sake of us both, please try to restrain yourself. Believe it or not, I'm actually here to help. We're both law enforcers here, right? So, have you got anything interesting to report? Any suspicious leads I can investigate?
Now, what kind of MP would I be if I didn't notice anything suspicious? I've had soldiers go AWOL, break-ins, thefts, you name it.
Oh yeah, what kind of MP are you if all that shit is happening right under your nose? Colonel Shu wasn't kidding when he said he's fighting a lot of fires. Seriously, I already met some underperforming soldiers today. I sure hope you're not among them. So, first things first, who's missing?
Well, there's Anders. He's a ranger. That one's not suspicious so much as worrisome. He left on a dangerous assignment. Colonel Shu sent him out. Now I think he feels guilty not having any way to check up on him.
Well, I've already been informed about that. In fact, we're pretty sure we already know where he is. Getting to him is the tricky part. But that's not really what I'm after right now, and by the sound of things, he's not the only one missing.
Yeah. The man I'm more interested in is Corporal White. White had a lot of promise. Wanted to be a ranger as bad as anyone I've seen. But he also had some extracurricular activities going. Now he's gone.
Extracurricular? I don't know if this sounds more suspicious or disturbing, but I guess that's a potential lead I can follow. Can you be more specific about what he's doing? Do I even want to know?
Word around the base is he'd been going regularly to visit a hooker named Dazzle at Gamora. That's a casino on the Strip. Classy place. His belongings are up in the barracks in the concourse building. First bunk on your left if you're facing it from the center. I haven't had a chance to look through his things yet, so that might be a good place to begin.
Wow, your definition of extracurricular is not what I had in mind. I'm slightly worried about what I'm going to find in his lockers now. I don't exactly want to present a pair of furry handcuffs as Exhibit A. So, what about the other problems? You mentioned thefts? Has someone been raiding the food supplies, or is this more serious than that?
Not the kind of things you like to see go missing. No witnesses yet. I've got my money on Sergeant Contreras, who's supposed to be in charge of distribution, the little weasel.
But
he's too slick to let anyone catch him doing it. We've searched his possessions 12 times. Nothing.
Again, some MP you're turning out to be. Just as well, he's one of the people I'm supposed to talk to. I bet I can get to the bottom of this before you can.
Good. The more guns you can recover, the more I'll be able to use to shoot Contreras for being inept.
I like this take no prisoner attitude you've got going here. At least you nailed that part. So what else do we have? Break-ins? Are you sure that's not just part of the theft thing? Look at me being clever as if I know what I'm doing.
Maybe break-in isn't the right word. We didn't find signs of forced entry, but I've had reports of someone sneaking into the control tower at night. It's probably just a meeting spot for a steamy military base love affair. Kids today. But it bothers me that they didn't break in. It means they have an access code. Most soldiers around the base don't have that.
Wow. We are seriously clutching at straws here. I guess it wouldn't hurt for me to check that out, but if I find a bunch of used condoms up there, then I'm just gonna resign. I'll be needing the access codes if you don't mind, unless you actually want me to break in myself.
Sure, if you want to investigate. It's not like there's anything to steal up there, just a bunch of old communications equipment. If you can find out any more, I'd be interested to hear it. There's something about this I really don't like, and if I weren't tied up here, I'd be staking it out personally.
To do what? Catch the soldiers in the act yourself? Maybe they'll let you join them if you ask nicely. But speaking of being tied up, I'm guessing that jolly-looking guy in the back there must be the Legion prisoner everyone's been talking about. I don't suppose you're having too much trouble from this guy, are you?
Yeah, so far this has gone exactly as expected. Poorly. But with the work you've done for NCR already, you might be just what I've been looking for. We captured an honest-to-God Centurion of Caesar's Legion recently.
Which is a big fucking deal, I'm assuming.
Better believe it. Everybody in Caesar's Legion, from Caesar on down, will kill themselves before they can be captured. They're so twitchy they'd probably do it if you reached out to hug them. But here's this guy, who's an elite commander in their army, and he just gives himself up, even as his men are slitting their own throats around him.
So what am I supposed to think here? He wants to be captured?
Well, I don't know about you, but to me that sounds like a man who's willing to cooperate. Except he hasn't. Only times he speaks up are to insult you. He's a real prick, by the way. And I'm supposed to get information out of this guy.
Or perhaps he's getting information from you guys. This might be the source of the information leak I'm looking for. If there's a poster hiding a massive hole on the wall of his cell, then I'm just gonna say I fucking called it. So what can we do here? Drug him up first and then ask him questions? I don't know how you're supposed to train a guy to resist chemical interrogation.
Don't have anything like that. Sounds nice. Like the kind of thing I'd want to take home and use on my husband. But even if we did, I don't know that I'd be comfortable using it. If there's any risk of overdose, it's not worth it. Asshole's too valuable.
Hey, I didn't say there would be some kind of miracle truth drug. We could just get him drunk or something. That's usually enough to get me talking. I mean, what else are we going to do here? Call him names and try to make him lose his temper?
Yes, and one time I thought I saw a tear when I told him his uniform was unflattering. But I think he just got some dust in his eye.
Hey, fuck off, smartass. I was being sarcastic. But seriously, I'm just trying to see if there's anything I can do that you haven't tried already. You know what? Let's apply my earlier logic to this. What would the Legion do to get information out of an NCR officer? Actually, what am I talking about? They would just beat the living crap out of the guy.
I like the way you think. Have I said that yet? Problem is that the NCR frowns on using that sort of tactic. There are some restrictions still in place from President Tandy's administration. But here's my favorite thing about you. You're not in the NCR. Plus, for all this guy knows, you're completely insane. That's a winning combination.
I think you'll find I am completely insane. If you were any good at your job, you would have noticed that by now. But more to the point, what do you think I am? A loophole in the system? I thought the interrogations are supposed to be more sophisticated than this.
I think if you rough him up enough and really put some fear into him, he'll sing like a choir boy. So let's do this. When you're ready, I'll go in and give you a little intro. Then I leave the room and you make him regret the day he was born. We go back and forth a couple times until either he talks or he can't move his jaw anymore. Either way, we've had our entertainment for the day.
Entertainment for you, maybe. I would be the one doing all the work. But you know what? Fuck you. I'm gonna do this my way, and hell, if I can make this guy talk with the power of my mind, then how's that gonna make you look?
Ah, tear my heart out, why don't you? Well, maybe you can find a way to play with his mind. Get him out of his comfort zone. People lose their heads and say things they regret. Especially if they underestimate you. This dickhead would underestimate a nuclear missile. Plenty of ways to skin a cat, as they say. Hey, what if we skinned him? Bet he wouldn't be so smug then.
Well, that can be plan B if my approach doesn't work. Alternatively, I could do the sudden tactic switch thing I came up with earlier. Yeah, this has potential. Let's go for that.
That's the spirit. Okay, I'll go in and have a word with him. Then I'll call you in.
Whatever you want. I just hope you don't mind cleaning up the place after I'm done. Shit's gonna get messy, that's for sure.
Long time no see, Silus.
Wait,
Lieutenant,
this wall isn't soundproof?
I was just thinking about you.
That's so.
I was just thinking about that pretty neck of yours.
How sweet.
I was thinking about how it would look with a Legion slave collar on it.
I'll pass.
Slave collar, okay.
Do you know what I love about our slave collars, Lieutenant?
If you love them, maybe you should try one on.
I love how tightly they fit.
Uh-huh.
I train my men to make sure the slave's flesh bulges a bit around the top and bottom. Know why?
It's all the rage in fashion circles?
Not quite. If you fit it just right, their body never gets used to the feeling of wearing it. It cuts in just enough when they swallow or turn their head to remind them who they belong to. And it's that constant reminder that keeps them docile.
Wow, I need to write this down.
In that case, maybe you'd better save the collar you were gonna give me.
Oh? For whom?
For a friend of mine you're about to meet. My friend isn't very docile.
Nope.
And who is this friend of yours?
You know all the rules the NCR instituted to protect enemy prisoners of war?
Of course.
My friend doesn't. Oh, and Silus, if you resist at all, I'll personally blow your brains out. Come on in, he's all yours.
Okay.
I'll be back in a bit to see how you're getting along.
Take your time.
And I'll need you to surrender your weapons before you go in. You can pick them up from the locker on your way out.
Sure, wait, what? You want me to go in there unarmed? How the fuck am I supposed to rough him up with my bare hands? He's still wearing armor! Okay, I don't think you understand the concept of this. Plus, he's rather big. Oh, you're not even listening to me, are you? Oh, dear God. I'm starting to have second thoughts about this, and so are my internal organs.